All right. What's up? We're live. Back on Twitch and YouTube coming up soon in like 5 seconds. There we go. There it goes. What's up? We're back with another episode of the BCS sports show. You know, just out here talking about sports.
Yeah. On Halloween.
On Halloween. Merry Halloween.
I guess am I Spects tonight?
I think you have to be, right? Okay. Spects
Spects
I did see this thing. I was wondering if you had to. This is totally random, but I saw a thing on Twitter. I thought it was kind of funny. Who would you draft first overall if you had to pick from all of the slasher villains? So, like, you're starting an NBA team. Who do you pick number one overall pick? Yeah.
I want to say Mike Myers because I think he might be the tallest.
I think I actually looked at it right before this. Mike Myers is like 6'8", and I think Jason is like 7 foot. So I think those are
one of those two.
I think those are the two right answers. Agreed. But
that'd be my guess. Is one of like. Do you know Mike? The whole thing is, Mike Myers can take a hit.
That's true, but he's also just super slow. Like he doesn't really move.
That's
very
fine.
fast.
All he has to do is just move from underneath the basket.
That's a good point, I guess. He's playing center. The foot speed isn't a huge deal.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, I guess we want to talk about some NFL stuff first. Do we want to? Do we want to talk about who should be panicking, or do we want to talk actual games first?
You talk about who. We can start off with the good stuff. We can start with who should be panicking.
Okay. Well, I think there's one we both agreed on right away.
They're playing right now.
It's the New York Jets.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened. It's like they fired Robert Saleh and it just hasn't gotten any better for him. If anything, it's gotten worse.
Yeah. It's almost like maybe Saleh wasn't 100% of the issue, like we may have mentioned weeks ago.
I think we can. I personally will just blame Nathaniel Hackett.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's still on the staff technically, so sure, he could still be.
He's still involved. If he's still involved, it's still his fault.
I don't know. I think it's another. I
mean, it's probably also Aaron Rodgers. It's probably a combination of them.
That's the one. I think that's the one.
But the whole thing is, I know what Aaron Rodgers can do, so I'm hard pressed to blame him.
And yeah, no, I understand what he can do, right? But he's also 40.
Yeah,
and I think he just causes the vibes to be bad. Like I don't know if you can explain it, but I feel like he's just a vibe killer.
You know what it probably is he's trying to act cool. Still,
could be.
Where he's sort of like, "Hello, fellow young kids."
Maybe. I don't know. I just think I think it's more that. I think he's just an asshole. Like he just seems like a really tough guy to get along with. Like he'll rip on the media and then end up every Wednesday making appearances on the McAfee show. And
when he goes to the Vikings, he's going to be great.
I mean, maybe, yeah. Just hopefully he doesn't do all the stuff Brett Favre did.
Like send a picture of his wiener to some poor Jets.
There's that. There's the stealing funds from Mississippi. All that stuff. Just let's not do any of that stuff.
He's just doing what every politician does anyway.
Oh, facts, 100%. Still doesn't make it right.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying.
He
just cut a few corners. He went to the front of the line.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the Jets are full on panic. I'm actually kind of surprised the Texans aren't beating them worse. The Texans are actually
that just sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the Colts should be panicking since we benched our quarterback.
Yeah, but I mean, from like a quarterback situation perspective, yeah, 100% should be panicking. But talking about this season's probably the right move, right?
Yeah, well, I'm torn on it.
Okay, yeah.
Because the one hand, it probably makes logical sense because
Joe Flacco played pretty good in those couple days.
He played pretty good. Anthony Richardson clearly needs time to develop, and I think the one thing in the NFL that we don't give quarterbacks a lot of times is that time to develop.
Mm-hmm.
Where we just sort of instantly want to be like, success or failure. And mind you, I did say earlier in the week, I'm cool with trading for a second or third round. I'm cool with it if that's what we have to do.
Whatever.
Let's do it. Fine, whatever. just don't be. I just don't want to go back to quarterback purgatory. It's just like if it's not going to work,
sucks there. It's so bad.
It's one of those things where like if it's not going to work, rip the Band-Aid off,
get it over with. Let's start over.
Get a second round pick.
Yeah,
and draft it and draft fucking Shedeur Sanders if he falls, or draft. I don't know. Draft Miller Moss in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
do you want to be on the Miller Moss train again, though?
No,
you hated it this year.
I don't.
There's no way.
Personally, no.
I feel like you would lose your mind.
If they drafted Miller Moss, said Miller Moss could be a starting quarterback, I'm going to jump ship. I will root for the Niners, like members of my family, and just be like, I'm done. I will root for Shanahan. I will root for Kyle. I will root for the Shanahan family, and just be like, take me to the promised land, boys. But I don't know. Like, I feel like they should be panicking from that standpoint. But in terms of like a team, like it's sort of like what we said originally. It's like they're one of the three better teams. I think they're going to get into the playoffs. I think they're in that mix where it's like they don't have to. They don't necessarily need to worry. Mind you, the Broncos somehow fixing Russell Wilson, or the Steelers fixing Russell Wilson terrifies me because I don't want that.
Don't worry. I trust the process there. Russell Wilson will crash and burn by the end of the year. I've seen it. I'm trusting the process. We're going full 76ers here.
Oh, okay. So this is like that part where he comes in. It's like, oh, he's doing okay, and then
in 3 weeks we're gonna be like, wait a minute, what happened? Trust. But yeah, no. I mean, the Colts are 4-4. They're number 8 right now in the AFC. So like, I get it from a this season standpoint. Like, you're in striking distance of the playoffs. Like. The Chargers
striking distance last year too, by the way, by basically a single play.
Gotcha. Yeah. But like, they're one game out. They're one loss out of the playoffs right now. So like, it makes sense for the Colts. But yeah, from a quarterback long-term perspective, they should be panicking 100%.
But on the flip side, if you want to play the flip side of that coin, Anthony Richardson started both games against Houston, and both games were one-score games.
That is true. And they haven't been blown out at all this year, despite all of their games have been within a score.
They play really well. They're not like the best defensively, they're not the best offensively, but like they bend and don't break, which is probably the name of the game.
I mean,
that's like I said, they need more they need weapons, and I think that's part of the Anthony Richardson problem is when you have the Raiders sort of like gun it style, and you don't have just raw speed.
Yeah, that's the thing. Imagine him with with a Tyreek Hill. You just tell Richardson throw it 70 yards, and he will run under it.
That was the whole thing I was saying when the Chiefs drafted who they drafted in the first round. Is like I stand by it. That's who the Colts wanted,
right?
Because it made too much sense. Yep. Because he's the fastest guy there. What are you gonna do? All right, you're doing one thing. You're running seams the entire game. Go nuts.
Yep.
But hey, your Broncos were number 11.
Yeah, they're number 11 in the power rankings. They're 5th in the AFC right now. I have no idea where Perna.
I'll look this up.
He's probably a little. I don't know. Perna is always been a relatively reasonable Broncos fan, despite
he
his
said,
YouTube channel.
From what I remember him saying, because he brought it up, I think he said he sort of tries to like average it out. So they're probably.
Yeah. I think he would have cautious optimism, and he probably has them in that 9 to 13 range. And that's how all Broncos fans should be right now. Very cautious optimism.
I mean, that's what he kind of said. Is he sort of like?
Because like
he's made that point before.
They beat up on the Panthers. They beat up on the Saints.
Have you played the Chiefs yet?
Beat up on the Raiders. We have not. We actually have the Ravens this week and the Chiefs the week after that. So we have a really, really tough 2-game stretch coming up. But like, yeah, the cautious optimism, like we beat up, all our wins are against bad teams, essentially.
Gotcha.
So, but I'll take it. Hey, we won 5 games already this year. We only need like 4 more, and we're in the playoffs.
There you go. Hold on. He put him low.
Did he? Yeah, he's been hurt too much. I understand. I'm in the same boat. Like,
Gotcha.
We're winning, but we're beating bad teams.
He put him at 11.
Did he put him at 11? Okay, that makes sense too. Like kind of in that lower tier of like wild card playoff teams, which you have to because they're 5-3 and their defense is really good. But we're trying not to get too excited, and we haven't played anyone. Like
play the Chiefs.
We play the Ravens, Chiefs next 2 weeks. That'll tell us who this team really is, basically.
And by the way, the curse will curse the Ravens.
Oh, did he? Did it? Fantastic.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear that.
So,
if we're being real, Lamar Jackson, he has missed practice the last 2 days.
Yeah, you got the curse wheel's already working.
It's already working.
But in terms of teams who should getting back to, we'll ebb and flow. Cause we talked the horse teams already. Unless you got anything else you want to add to your horse team.
Bo Nix was offensive rookie of the month for October, so I'm gonna ride that one pretty high for a while. The last Bronco to do that was Clinton Portis back in like 2004.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, that was a while ago.
In terms of another team that I should panic. Can I give you a two for the other two teams in the AFC South?
The Jaguars
and the Titans.
And the Titans.
Yep.
I agree with the Jaguars. That's who I was going to say next. Because they should be way better than they are. Especially because they theoretically have a quarterback.
I don't know what the hell happened there.
Yeah, what is happening there? I haven't looked at his stats this year. Trevor Lawrence has 1,800 yards, 11 touchdowns, 4 picks, and a 62% completion percentage. So, fine, but not great.
Yeah.
The touchdown interception is good, but that completion percentage is kind of low. 16 sacks he's taken so far. Yeah, I don't know why this team sucks so bad. I'm be real. No idea. Defense, maybe?
I think there's a lot of young guys, and they're kind of now starting to struggle. Say like ETN, who is.
Yeah, but ETN's been in the league for a couple years at this point.
So is Lawrence.
That's true.
But I think too, and this is something I think gets doesn't get talked about as much, is they don't really have a receiving core.
They have a lot of fine receivers. No one really good, but they have a lot of okay receivers. Because
they had Calvin Ridley, but they traded him away.
They did trade Calvin Ridley. Christian Kirk has been hurt.
And it's like you have Christian Kirk, who's again in that realm of fine.
Right. Gabe Davis, fine.
Fine.
Their rookie, though, seems like their best receiver, Brian Thomas Jr.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think, is he leading? He might be leading all receivers in receiving. But, yeah, I think the Jacksonville Jaguars should be panicking a bit as well. They are.
Giants. There's another one.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, the Giants should be panicking, but I think they've been panicking from the last 2 years.
But I think, too, they've also realized they're sort of in a spot where they play too well to get one of the top quarterbacks, and I think they're finally now playing bad enough to get a top quarterback.
Right. And, and just to note, the Jacksonville Jaguars are giving up the second most points in the league.
There you go.
Carolina. That's why they suck. Their defense is terrible. All right, we solved it.
If the draft were today, the Giants would have the 9th pick.
Ooh.
At 2-6.
That's tough. And there'd be a lot of tiebreakers with that.
But in terms of
teams.
But in terms of teams, you're sort of looking at Carolina. Could they draft a quarterback? Would they draft a quarterback?
Probably. I think they
Tennessee?
do. Yeah. Tennessee probably does. Yep.
New England doesn't.
No, New England does not. Jets
probably
should. They won't.
Jacksonville probably not.
No, they won't.
New Orleans.
They should.
Maybe.
I think they do.
The Raiders do. I assume Cleveland should, but they probably won't.
Yeah. I think Cleveland and the Saints and the Jets are kind of all in the same spot where they probably should, but the odds, they probably don't do it just because they do have veteran guys that either, one, they're paying too much money or would get kind of pissy if they draft a quarterback.
In terms of right now, they're saying Carolina takes Cam Ward #1.
Makes sense. It's Cam and Shador, the two top quarterback prospects, I think. So yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah, Cam Ward goes number 1, Shedeur goes number 2, Travis Hunter goes 3. The Jets take a defensive lineman in Mason Graham. Will Johnson goes to Jacksonville. Wide receiver goes to New Orleans. Offensive tackle. 2 offensive tackles go to both Vegas and Cleveland, leaving the Giants to draft an even wider quarterback. You can believe it or not, Garrett Nussmer.
Garrett Nussmer,
the LSU quarterback.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the Jets are in a... See, the thing with the Giants is they're in such a crappy spot because they decided to pay Daniel Jones last offseason.
Well, they had to.
I understand they had to. Well, kind of. Like, they had to keep him, obviously, but, like, was he worth keeping?
But, see, the whole thing is to me, is they have so much cap space that even if they have to eat the contract, it's whatever.
Yeah, and we've seen...
I don't think that contract's that bad in terms of guaranteed money anyway.
Right. And with the NFL, we've seen teams just eat contracts just to move on. I mean, the Broncos did that with Russell Wilson. We have one season of a $60 million cap, like dead cap or whatever, and then we're kind of done with it. So, yeah, you kind of screw yourself for a year, but if you suck anyway, who cares? So...
You hear the rumors that they thought he was dating Kay Adams? That was a fun 2 weeks.
Who?
She was on yeah.
Wait, who is this Kay Adams?
She was on Good Morning Football for years now. She has her own show.
Oh, I don't know who this is.
If you saw her, you know who she is.
I do not know who this is. I've never seen her before in my life.
Okay. So in terms of cap
I'm a boomer, man, when it comes to this type of stuff.
So in terms of just cap hit,
the
highest amount it would be is $58 million, and that's in 26. So his contract's not really it isn't even that long.
Right.
It's only 4 years, 160.
So
it's not exactly. So he'd be a free agent at 27. So it's like, oh, whoopee frickin' do. So I lied. He does have an out. There is an out next year.
Okay.
And it'd be only $22 million in dead cap. So it's not even that. That's it.
That's nothing
of a hit.
Yeah.
So it's not like they have to necessarily care. So clearly they're like, if it's that kind of it's $82 million, but the dead cap hit's only 22. So that's nothing.
Yeah. So yeah,
Screw that.
I guess the quarterback situation with the Giants isn't as bad as I thought. If it's that easy to move on from Daniel,
but it's almost sort of like they did it intentionally.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I understand why they did it. Like, he had that one season where he was pretty good, and then it's been tough since.
So, you were talking about NB. You were talking about this before.
Oh yeah, the other team, which I don't know if there's really any other NFL teams that really should be panicking. Like, obviously the Cowboys and the Dolphins are in tough spots, but I don't consider those like panic moves. But the other one is the Milwaukee Bucks. Their offense is terrible. Like, they were getting
Doc Rivers, baby.
Doc Rivers. Well, and that's part of it too. Is I have never seen a coach. I looked at Doc Rivers' coaching history. He's been coaching every year since 1999. He's been with 5 teams, has 1 championship in 2008 with 3 Hall of Famers. And the last time he made it to the Eastern Conference Finals was in like 2010 with that same core. So it's like been 15
when he lost
years.
The Lakers in 7 games.
Yeah, so it's been like 15 years since he's like done anything, but he's gotten 3 jobs since then. It's incredible how one man has coasted on 1 championship, like one 3-year stretch.
Talked about it.
It's
no, that's something they've talked about before.
Oh, I know, but it's incredible how he's done it. Like, but yeah,
But I think titles or being around titles do something, because look at Darvin Ham.
What do you mean? Who also
he got a job? He got a job. He was from Milwaukee, got a job, and didn't do jack diddly shit.
Yeah, and I think he's on that staff now too. I'm pretty sure he's.
Because we were funny enough. We were talking about this earlier. We were talking. I got a thing at the end we can play.
Okay,
it'll be fun because you'll enjoy mine as a lifelong Laker fan.
Okay.
But we were talking about Frank Vogel. We were talking about the core of the Lakers team with Frank Vogel and how it's Vogel was unrightly fired because a lot of it was like the GM just sort like Pelinka was, I don't know what the hell Pelinka was doing. It's like he was trying too hard.
Right.
And Frank Vogel was a casualty of that.
Right. Yeah.
Of bad decisions. And then Darvin, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, Ham. I love JJ Redick.
JJ Redick's fantastic. Like that team actually looks good. I know they're 3-2, but like Lakers actually look decent. Like they will be a playoff team.
Well, what's so funny is now they're comparing him to Darvin Ham, and I'm like, JJ Redick's not Darvin Ham.
No, yeah, there's that's not even close.
I'm like, do you know the difference between Darvin Ham and JJ Redick is JJ Redick he already said like there's literally JJ Redick taking blame for loss versus Suns.
Right.
Like he's going to admit when he screws up. He's not going to be like, "Oh, it wasn't my fault."
He will. And I think part of that is because obviously JJ's been in the media for the last like 3 or 4 years or whatever. So he's the one that was ripping into coaches like in a past life type of thing. So he kind of has to live by his own rules, you know?
I know they're complaining that he went full Darvin Ham because Anthony Davis fell on the fucking floor against Cleveland last night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but also Anthony Davis is incredible. So like you have to keep him healthy, help that man out. But yeah, the Bucks are 1-4. They are currently losing.
Oh, I never looked at it.
No, they lost to the Grizzlies by 23 tonight. They're 1-4, and
oh god,
they have a minus 8.6 point differential, which is second worst in the NBA.
Oh, yes, Darvin Ham is back on the Bucks as the lead assistant.
He is the lead assistant for them, so it might just be a Darvin Ham thing. It might be because their roster is ancient, basically, and they have like no young talent. So,
is it? Are they that old?
Pretty old. Like if you look at their rotation, it's Dame, Gary Trent Jr., he's 25. He's not that old. Chris Middleton, Giannis, Brook Lopez, and then you got Bobby Portis, Taurean Prince, DeLon Wright, Chris, and Pat Connaughton.
You know what's interesting, and I guess this is something I don't think we talked about or didn't. Maybe we should have talked about more.
Mm-hmm.
Was they essentially, and it's funny now because he won a title, but when they did the trade for Dame,
mm-hmm.
they traded away Drew. You know, they traded away Holiday.
They did.
And Holiday instantly wins a ring in Boston.
Yeah, he was instantly bought out in Boston.
And what's so funny is it's one of those things where it's like, why in the world would you get rid of the guy that worked well with? Like, was the plan like, oh, when they buy him out, we'll just re-sign him? Was that your plan?
No, I think he went to Boston in a trade because it was a separate trade with Portland. I think what the idea was one, Drew Holiday, while he's amazing, is a little older. So, and he is not an offensive juggernaut, right? He's a defensive guard.
No.
He's awesome, but he is a defensive guard. Whereas I think the vision was, hey, we have probably the best defensive wing player in the NBA in Giannis, and we can upgrade our offense without losing defense by essentially swapping out Holiday for Lillard, and you get this crazy 2-man game potentially with Lillard and Giannis, and Giannis would cover up all of Lillard's, defensive deficiencies and stuff, but it just hasn't worked out. Because I think their issue was they just weren't getting enough offense before. Like they they
still have Chris Middleton, who's he's 33. Brook Lopez is 36.
Mm-hmm.
And those are because their starting five is Giannis. Is Covington starting?
Connaughton is usually coming off the bench. So their starters when
starting five is. It's like
their starters when everyone's healthy is Dame, Middleton, Giannis, Lopez, and then I think Gary Trent is their starter.
Yeah, so it's like you're not necessarily. You have a couple. Like I would say, if you're trying to upgrade, it's like you gotta get rid of Rook for sure.
Probably. The thing is, though, like at this point in his career, who's gonna take on a 36-year-old Brook Lopez? Like Brook Lopez is still like a fine player, but like you're not really upgrading much with that. Like, a bad team isn't going to want a 36-year-old Brook Lopez. Like, if you're going to trade someone, it's going to be probably one of the young guys that you're trying to, that hopefully makes a leap, and you just kind of mortgage the future some more, like Andre Jackson, Marjon Beauchamp, someone like that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know. The Bucks are in a really bad spot. It doesn't help that Middleton's been hurt to start the year, but still, the team it's
Can I
just
say that?
so old. Sorry. All right, what were you saying?
I feel like the Clippers should be panicking, at least to a certain degree.
Well, the thing is, though, I would have said that before the season when we were like, oh, Kawhi is hurt again. But they actually are pretty good defensively. And I don't know if they've really missed Kawhi all that much. Like, they're 2-2, but Harden is actually playing pretty decent, and Zubac is playing really well. So I don't know if they'd panic yet, but they might hit a stretch where they end up, losing 5 straight or whatever. Then at that point, like, yeah, they should be ringing alarm bells. But honestly, I don't know if they're really expected to be very good coming into the season anyway, because they definitely downgraded losing Paul George. So
I'm just looking at other teams like the Heat are 2-2.
mm-hmm.
But no one, I mean, is it?
I mean, Philadelphia maybe, but that's just because Embiid and Paul George are both hurt. So
Yeah.
I guess, are they going to come back? Like, if they do, they'll be fine. But if this ends up being like a 2-month injury for either guy, then they're in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Early season NBA stuff.
You wanna play a fun game real quick?
Yeah, let's play a game.
So this came up in my group chat.
Okay.
I come from a top 5 family. All my chats are top 5, but somebody said, "Who's your for your favorite team? Who is your Mount Rushmore of most hated players?"
Ooh, Mount Rushmore of most hated. So for the Nuggets, by Mount
For you
Rushmore,
be the Nuggets. Yeah.
Kobe Bryant, for sure.
No, for that play for your team.
Oh, that played for my team?
Yes.
Oh, that's even more interesting. I gotta think about that.
Mine's easy. I have an honorable. Do you want me to do mine while you?
Yeah, do yours and I'll think about mine.
I got some names on mine.
Okay.
All right, so I had to. Technically, mine's a top 5 because my last 2 are there's a slash in it because they both piss me off.
Okay.
I'm gonna do this in no particular order because there is no particular order. Where is it? Okay, so Russell Westbrook.
Okay, that one makes sense. Mine. Yeah.
Smush Parker.
Oh, yes. Okay, I like that.
Kwame Brown.
Oh, that's an obvious one. 100%. Yep.
And then my last ones are Luol Deng.
Oh, I like Luol, but I understand contract was really bad. He barely played. He was terrible. I get that one.
And then this guy's contract is even worse.
Oh, Timothy Mozgov. Yes, I was about to guess Timothy Mozgov, dude.
Timothy Mozgov. And then instantly when I put that in our chat, someone put the Stephen A. clip of him saying, "But they tweeted Kwame Brown."
I
think that's how I discovered Stephen A. Smith, and I'm like, I like this guy. They should be throwing a parade.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, those make total sense. Kwame Brown makes 100% sense because he's probably one of the biggest busts in NBA history. Smush Parker, it seems like just a guy that no one got along with, and Kobe hated him, which is hilarious. And then, you guys took Timothy Mozgov off our hands. I really appreciate that. I'm glad we didn't give him that contract. So,
God, I don't even know why we gave him that. Someone's explained it to me that it was just like the league got money, and it was like, fuck it, we're giving it to centers.
I think it was like the cap was spiking like crazy, and he had come off where he had a pretty decent season because the Nuggets got him in the Melo trade. And there was a point where he was averaging like 15 and 10-ish.
Yeah, it was one of those and he was weird still deals young. Where it was like, and it was like they instantly were going to get rid of it anyway. It was weird. That whole situation was odd. God, I hate that guy.
Yeah, so there was... Oh, wow, I forgot. He went to Cleveland before LA, but the year before, his first year in Cleveland, he averaged 10 points and, only 7 rebounds. Yeah, I don't know why you guys gave him that contract. That's crazy, actually. Because this man was 7 foot and built like a truck.
Yeah. All right. What's yours?
I came up with 3 right off the bat.
Okay.
Allen Iverson.
Okay.
Okay.
Didn't he get you guys to the Western Conference Finals?
No, Chauncey Billups did. Allen Iverson did not. So Allen Iverson, Bull, because the talent
the
was
kid?
so tantalizing. Yeah, who plays for Phoenix right now? He was a 7'6" or whatever, and can shoot from outside with handles. And you're like, why is this guy not good? And you're like, oh, it's because he doesn't give a shit or something. I don't know. So I had to put him. The other one that I came up with right off the bat was Bones Highland, who plays for the Clippers, because he, for whatever reason, decided, hey, I'm better than Jamal Murray, like during his rookie year. And it's funny because the Nuggets didn't give Bones a championship ring, even though he's with the team during that season. So like, I know it's that one
that's
is
so petty, and I love it.
But like, there's something there. Then, like, if the organization's like, usually we'll give a ring to guys that were on the team at some point during the season, and Bones, they were like, nah,
not this guy.
Then there were some others that came to mind, but I don't really have a reason to hate them. Like Ronaldo Balkman way back in the day. He was an end of bench guy during the Melo days. He just didn't play. He wasn't very good. I don't have a reason. He just popped into my mind, I guess. I don't know. There's another one that I don't hate him, but he makes a lot of really bad decisions that I hated, and that was Will Barton. Like,
Will Barton.
I've never seen a maybe 6-man level shooting guard with the amount of just unconscious, like, self-belief as I've seen in Will Barton.
Can I give you one? You probably will say no. I loved him.
Okay,
Kenyon Martin.
I love Kmart.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I love Kenyon Martin with the Nuggets. Martin. He was incredible. I love that guy.
J.R. Richards.
J.R. Smith.
Oh, J.R. Smith.
J.R. Smith was great. Again, another one. Him, JaVale McGee did some stupid shit. Understood. Oh no,
I love JaVale.
I love JaVale McGee. But J.R. Smith is the same boat for me, where like they would do some awesome shit, and every once in a while they do something really stupid, and you're like, you know what, that's just part of the package.
I want you to know there was a special play, and this was hilarious because if we were friends, this would we would have laughed our asses off for this one. Mm-hmm. And I talked about this before. The Lakers 2020 team had J.R. Smith, JaVale McGee, and Dion Waiters, and that was no more than, hey guys, you want to come for a ride? Fuck it. Like, the Dion Waiters thing was strictly to rub it in Pat Riley's face. And you can't convince me otherwise. So that man didn't play a single minute, I don't think.
I found the other obvious one that I didn't think of. Andre Iguodala. He is much hated here because...
Really?
Well, there is rumors. I don't know if they're true. I'm not saying they're true. There are rumors that during the series against the Warriors back in like 2013... that he was helping the Warriors in some way. And then the next year he ends up on the Warriors and they win those champions. They start winning all their championships. So there is a little bit of like a, did he screw us because of that? Like that season, I think we were 3rd in the West or something. Like we were incredible. And I think that's where the George Karl stuff started. And it was a fucking mess.
Interesting. I don't remember. I thought him getting there was really odd.
Yeah. Well,
by the way, updating the football game. Jets are winning 20-10 with 3 minutes to go.
What? There's no way.
Aaron Rodgers threw a strike to Devontae.
Oh my god. Well, I didn't see that coming. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I'm happy.
Oh yeah, that helps you, right?
It helps me out. Because now they're 5-3.
I mean, there's still time, but yeah, it's not looking good.
Unbelievable. Show the play again. I just heard screaming. I just heard the TV in the other room, and I'm like, what happened?
All right, I'm gonna go one more pass at an old roster and see if there's someone. Oh,
I think
the other one. What is his name? He's not on this roster, but now I remember. Anthony Carter. He's the one that inbounded the ball against the Lakers in the conference finals.
Yeah. I know done that.
Again, nothing against him personally. I hate that one play so much. Why is our 6'1" guard inbounding against Trevor Ariza? What are we doing?
That was a fascinating series too.
Yeah. But yeah, I can't say there's a whole lot of Nuggets players that come by that I'm like, oh, I hate this guy. Like usually, like I root for him and stuff. And even after they leave, I'm like, you know what? I can see the good stuff that happened.
I just think the Lakers have had a lot of like mean players.
Yeah, and the thing is you guys have been in a spot where one, you've given some really bad contracts, Dang and Mozgov, and then you've had the number 1 overall pick bust like that. Whereas the Nuggets, at least in the last 20 years,
we had
hasn't really had anything like that.
Bust,
so. Okay, sorry, number 2 overall pick.
LaMelo. The only thing that I guess drives me fucking batty, about that hilariously, if you wanna talk, for what draft was that?
For who? LaMelo or Lonzo?
Lonzo.
2018, I think.
If I recall, and I don't like to bring this up because it hurts me at my core.
2017.
2017. Yeah. If I recall, and like I said, I think this hurts me to my core because I'm gonna look and just cry. Yep.
Yeah.
You know who we could have had?
Yeah.
You know who we could have had with that number 2 pick?
Yeah.
Fucking Jason Tatum.
Yeah. Or De'Aaron Fox or Lauri Markkanen. Donovan
Mitchell.
Bam Adebayo.
Fuck it. I don't want Bam. Bam can go to hell.
Bam's fantastic. I love Bam. He's so good.
I hate anyone who plays for the Heat out for just my vendetta.
Understood.
Like, you can go. I hope you die.
But what about during Team USA? Bam was awesome.
Yeah, now go do it. Go help
I love
Jimmy.
Bam Adebayo. He's so fun to watch. He's great.
So in terms of that, we could have had Jason Tatum.
Yeah, I mean, at least you got something for Lonzo because he was part of the Anthony Davis trade.
True.
Whereas Philadelphia got nothing from Markelle Fultz.
You know what's even funnier about this? And I don't know how true this is.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't. I legitimately don't. And I've heard this, but I've heard this before. And again, I don't know how much I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody says that Danny Ainge played Philly into taking Markelle Fultz.
I mean,
because for basically everything is they said Lonzo's going to, we don't necessarily care. But there was talks that they were going to take Tatum. But somebody kept saying, no, Boston wants Fultz. Take Fultz. So there was this really weird thing that was going on like around the draft where they kept saying like, oh, Danny Ainge is going to play the Sixers. He's going to play the Sixers. I'm like, how the hell are you playing the Sixers? They can take whoever the hell they want. And wasn't Markelle Fultz when he came out like an amazing talent?
Well, and that's the thing is the Markelle Fultz thing is really weird because yeah, he was. I don't want to say he wasn't consensus number 1 overall pick, but like it's not like Philadelphia reached it all.
No,
he would have been really good. He just had this weird injuries where like he had that like nerve thing in his shoulder or whatever it is, where like it destroyed his shooting motion, and like that's who he was coming out. He was a big like combo guard that could shoot the lights out of the ball. He was like an offense all on his own, and he had just those weird injuries. Like I don't. That's one I'd be very interested to see like a 30 for 30 type thing about. Because it was so odd how it worked out.
Because I know, like, people are always going to be, like you said, like, oh, Lonzo was a bust. It's like, again, that's even funnier. It's both those
Lonzo
top 2
wasn't
picks,
a bust, though. It's
had
the
2
injuries.
Two injuries.
Like, it's hard to call those a bust when it's an injury thing. It's when it's the player just sucks. That's a different situation.
Now, here's the whole thing. And I know we weren't necessarily talking about this, but I will defend the Lakers taking Lonzo number 2 overall because it just made too much sense.
Yeah. And
because he's from UCLA, he's a local kid. He had all the tools in the world to like as a passer, all the stuff where it made sense. Magic could come down and show him everything. It was a match made in heaven.
And let's not forget they had Brandon Ingram as well. So
Yeah,
that probably played
guys.
a part that like you don't take Jason Tatum because you already have Brandon Ingram and Julius Randle.
Well, they were talking about moving him to the point to like shooting guard anyway. They were talking about moving Ingram to the shooting guard anyway.
Interesting. Okay.
But the whole thing is though, more than likely is if they did draft Tatum would just be in New Orleans anyway because they would have flipped him anyway to get Anthony Davis.
That's true. Yeah, I think no matter what, you end up with Anthony Davis there, and whoever you pick there gets traded.
And the whole thing is I can't really argue and say, oh, we made the wrong pick when Lonzo Ball getting traded got us a title. And at the end of the day,
yeah, that's what matters.
Like, and then the Boston won a title, so they're like, we made the right pick. There you go. Everyone wins.
Right, except for Philly.
Except for Philly.
Philly never wins.
Philly never wins. Philly never wins.
They don't. I feel bad.
Really don't. I don't.
Yeah, I don't either. You're right.
Oh, the Eagles should be panicking. There's another team.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, they should be panicking.
There's another team.
Yeah, they need to be panicking really bad.
Sirianni needs to get canned.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. That's a whole thing. I didn't even miss. The Eagles are 5-2 though.
But
it feels like they should be panicked. Yeah, like it feels like they've been much worse than 5 or 2.
Because the whole thing is like because Jalen Hurts has not played well.
Yeah. Yeah, they barely beat the Browns, barely beat the Saints, barely beat the Packers. And they destroyed the Bengals.
And it doesn't help that Sirianni is like Sirianni.
Yeah, that guy. I have never seen it. I mean, maybe I have, but like he was so beloved like 2 years ago in Philly, and now it seems like everyone hates him. It's insane.
Because I think people are tired. I think people are tired with his antics, and I think it started with the Dom thing, with the big Dom thing.
Big Dom, yeah.
I think that was the stuff that sort of like spiraled it.
What a legend! Love Big Dom.
Because some stupid Guido can't get out of the way.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
and mind you, I'm Italian. I get it. You have the big honking Italian bodyguard there, but he needs to know. It's like, bro, you need to know your place.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Trent I don't
Williams
remember all that stuff.
Slap you.
Yeah, it's true. Trent Williams, don't mess with that guy.
Trent Williams will bitch slap you, and people call him soft on Twitter and dirty. I'm like, nah, that man's been the same way for 20 years.
Yeah, you're right. Eagles should be panicking. That was the other one that we forgot about. All right, are there any games we want to talk about this weekend? I looked at them earlier, and they look kind of meh.
What week are we on?
9. Like, because we've already kind of talked about both of our teams. Broncos are going to beat the Ravens, obviously.
Here we go. Week 9. Don't care. Bills Dolphins is kind of slightly interesting, but
maybe Tua's back, so that
Browns Chargers boring as hell. Patriots Titans boring as hell. Falcons Cowboys Falcons.
I mean, I think Cowboys are always interesting to an extent because of their fan base.
Ravens Bengals is an interesting. Broncos Ravens. That is an interesting game.
Ravens Broncos.
I think it's interesting. Well, I think it's a good measuring stick for your Broncos.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah.
Bears Cardinals would be way more interesting. Is Cliff Kingsbury was still coaching?
Mm-hmm. Detroit Green Bay is a good one. That's probably the best game this week.
Eagles Jags is an interesting. Rams Seahawks could be sneaky interesting.
I don't know if either of those teams are any good, honestly.
The other game, Lions Packers.
Yeah, that's the one. I think that's the one. Yeah.
Colts Vikings doesn't do anything for me.
No, same.
It's just gonna be it. Here's what's gonna. I'm gonna make a wild prediction.
Okay.
It's either gonna be Joe Flacco's gonna out quarterback Sam Darnold, and then you're gonna see you'll probably hear the rumors for Stafford pick back up again.
Surprised that hasn't happened already.
I don't know. When's the deadline? Isn't it? Is it this weekend or next weekend?
That is a good question. It is
It's about a week away. They said it's 5 days
November
away. November 5th.
So that is next Tuesday, yeah.
So I mean, it's possible they want to do like a wait and see thing.
The end of that game, yeah.
I don't know who they played the week after, but
I don't know. I had it up. It's gone now. Oh, Minnesota plays the Jaguars the week after.
Yeah, so if they want to do something,
Yeah, they're.
Although what's interesting is apparently Addison wants out, so that's fascinating.
Wait, really? I didn't hear about that.
He posted a thing that said free 3.
Jesus.
I'm like, okay. I mean, I'll take you. You want to go? Come on, come to Indy. You can play with your boy Michael Pittman Jr. Come on, Jordan.
Oh man,
get the gang back together. Although I don't think they ever played together.
This is his first year in the league.
No, it's like his third.
No, he was drafted first round last year, but he missed last year.
Did he?
Just kidding. He didn't miss last year. I'm an idiot. I'm thinking of someone else.
I was gonna say Jordan Addison.
I'm thinking of the guy from the Lions, Williams. He missed.
Yeah. Michael Pittman Jr. play with Jordan Addison.
Yeah, I just want the Broncos to get one decent receiver. Like, don't give up a lot. Just get somebody decent. Cortland Sutton needs some help. I would like Mike Williams, please.
Mike Williams.
I'll take Mike Williams. I'll take Adam Thielen would be fine. That's fine. Just give me like a solid pro, that'll give me 50 yards a game. That's all I want. Give Bo Nix some help.
Interesting.
All right. Is there anything else we want to talk about?
Dragon Age Vanguard looks terrible.
Oh, I haven't seen anything about it. I've been grinding a WoW.
I know, you're playing WoW. You're playing Arena?
Yeah.
Did you spend $90 to get that Brontosaurus?
No, I haven't. No.
What's it on the auction block? I meant to look and I never got around to it.
It's I don't know how much it is, but I'm not spending $90 on anything in a game. I don't want to spend $90 on a game. Like, that's stupid.
You're gonna spend $80 to get the gold edition or whatever for Borderlands 4?
No, I'll probably wait till it's free on Game Pass or something, honestly. That's where I'm at now with games. Like, all my free time, I'm like, Magic the Gathering. This is what we're doing now.
Gotcha.
Playing some WoW and Magic the Gathering. So,
boy.
Well, we will be back Saturday. Yes. Saturday with Bryce. I don't think.
And then next Saturday, the following week, you'll be gone.
I think I'll be gone, and it sounds like Bryce will be gone too. So the Saturday after, we may just not have one. But I guess we'll see as we get closer. Because I don't know. I know CU doesn't play this week, and I don't think does
BYU doesn't either.
They don't either. Okay, cool. So yeah, I guess we'll
figure out. Play, and then doesn't play next week.
Wait, who doesn't play next week? USC?
USC doesn't play the week of the 9th.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So yeah, I guess we'll figure out what we're talking about on Saturday. But anyway, everyone else, thank you for watching. We'll be back on Saturday, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.